Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this fun stand-up calendar with the Vintage Tool stamp set from our annual catalog. This calendar is perfect for your desk and a quick glance at the month. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. I'm going to start by scoring my half a sheet of cardstock. I'm going to score it at the 4 1/4, the 8 1/2, the 9 1/2, and the 10 1/2 inch marks, and then I can set this aside. Okay, I'm going to start with my project by using my blending brush and a little bit of my early espresso classic ink. I'm going to tap that off, and I'm simply going to run my brush across the outside edge of my cardstock carefully. I just want a little bit of color, not a lot on this project. And of course, the bottom edge and the sides you can do a little heavier if you'd like. Since we're going to be stamping the images in the early espresso, you don't want the top too heavy. I've got that done and I'm ready to bring in my mask. I'm going to use my calendar as the mask simply so that I can hold my place and I know where I'm going to be stamping. So I'm going to set that down. I'm going to bring in my sentiment here and I'm going to stamp that right on top. I love this for our guys, building in some time for themselves. It's a fun little pun on words. And then if this is going to bother you, you can move it, but I'm going to bring in my hammer and I'm simply going to angle that slightly and stamp. There we go. I want it above the calendar like so that it looks like it's pounding onto the calendar. I've got my stamping done and I'm ready to assemble. Okay, I'm going to start by adding some tear and tape to the back of my panels. And I love the fact our cardstock is thick enough so that we can easily stamp on both sides. So since I had a little halo on my project, I could re-stamp it. I'm going to place 3 pieces down the center of this panel and a couple of strips onto the calendar. And then I'm going to add a strip down this 1/2 inch section on the bottom here, right below the score line. I can set my tear and tape to the side and I can fold on my score lines. I'm going to fold back and then I'm going to fold up. I'm going to fold down and then I'm going to fold up again. That'll give me the ability to place my panel together. I've got this folded the opposite direction so I can easily fold on that score line and not have to worry about lining things up. There we go. Now once I've got that, I can fold it the opposite direction and use my bone folder to make that nice and tight. And I've created my stand-up calendar. Now I'm looking for that seam that I have where I adhered them together. This is my back. And of course you can add a panel here for a signature if you'd like. And so this is going to be my front. And I'm ready to start decorating the front. So I'll remove my adhesive protective strips. I've got that off of both of my pieces now, and I can flip this over and I could adhere this right down to the front of my calendar holder, and then I can flip over my calendar and place it right here below the hammer. Isn't that cute? And when it'll stand up on the desk with no problem. I'm going to bring in these rustic metallic adhesive back dots. These are perfect for the project because they're vintage looking and they have a little bit of a shine to them. So I am going to take these small little dots and I am going to place 2 in the top corners here. And then I'm actually going to use one in the bottom corners to act like it's tacked down and in place with little nails. So there you go, a quick and easy stand-up calendar for your special guy. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Ginny. Thanks for joining me.